Welcome back. We are learning about how Project ECHO can benefit clinicians and patients in Montana and Wyoming. Kevin Franke is still with us, and we're joined by Marie Hamilton, a registered nurse and ambulatory care coordinator at Barrett Hospital and Healthcare in Dillon, Montana. So welcome, Marie.
Thank you.
But before we talk to you, Marie, I want to have a follow-up conversation with Kevin. Project ECHO is clearly making a difference to the citizens in Montana and Wyoming.
Certainly.
How is it funded?
Like I had said before, Mountain Pacific has been working with communities and providers throughout, but we were looking for that areas to reach those outskirts and the rural areas and the smaller communities. So Mountain Pacific, who we had the opportunity to write for a special innovation project through the Centers of Medicare and Medicaid services, and we were awarded some funding to be able to take care of this, to be able to work and partner with the University of Wyoming as a super hub, and we are doing this for the next 2 years. So we're funded for the next 2 years.
So let's talk to you, Marie. Can you talk to us about what you do at the hospital, and how did you get involved in Project ECHO and Mountain Pacific's project?
So my role at the care is a care coordinator. And as a care coordinator, I work with patients who have multiple illnesses or are on many medications. All of those are things that causes most people to have some kind of issue, either with finances or with their health in general. And I work directly with the patients, usually to help them find the resources they need, or to, as I say to them, I'm their coach, and I encourage them to reach their health goals, help them figure out how to do that. I was thinking about that as I came over today, about how did I get involved with Project ECHO, because it kind of seemed like it just happened. But I think that I got a notice from Mountain Pacific saying, we're doing this, would you be interested? And at the time I was looking for some way I could figure out what resources were available in our community for our patients. And I thought, when I read through, I went, well, this is a really good resource. I'll just get a part of this. And so I reached out, and I've been doing it since.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you work clearly with inpatients and with outpatients. Talk to us about the greatest gaps you see.
So I think that the biggest gap that I see, especially coming from outpatient, is that they come home and then they don't really know what they're supposed to be doing, usually around medications. It's an interesting thing to me. We began a program called a Transition of Care program. And when I call the patients, it is interesting to me how often I find out that they've either missed a med or they're doubling up on a medication. And so I'm able to catch that, and I believe that we're helping them to be healthier and not be readmitted because they're doing their medications different from how it was. This is a national problem. It is not something new to us just because we're rural, but it is one of those things that we know if we send them home and they don't get it, and most of us don't coming out of a hospital, then they end up in trouble again. So I think it's one of our biggest ones. That, and really trying to figure out what resources do they need to be plugged in so that they can stay healthier at home.
So what's it really like to be part of an ECHO session?
Well, it's really quite fun because you get to see everybody if they have a camera on their computer. So you do it from either your home or your office, depending on where it is, where you are at that time. You get on site, and you can hear everybody talk about what's going on. Usually the first half of the session is a case study where we get to hear about a situation, and then everybody can give input on how you might be able to solve that problem within our rural communities. And that has been, to me, very beneficial, because all of a sudden I'll go, oh, I hadn't even thought about those. And so it just is building my resource knowledge. Then the second half is a didactic learning time, and they always cover something that has to do with, oftentimes it's about medications and diseases, and so it's very beneficial to help us learn from some of the experts in the field.
So can you talk about one particular example where you know it's made a difference in the Dillon community? Project Echo's really made that difference. Can you think of one?
Well, I would like to talk about a patient, and so it's going to be very global when I say this, but I was dealing with a patient that I was struggling figuring out how to help them. And about the same time, they asked me if I would present a case, and I said, well, I've got a case, but I don't even know how to begin talking about it because I am confused about where to go with it. And so as Abby and I talked about things, she said, you know what, I think you should talk to one of our members, Maya Pigliatori. Mm-hmm. And so she connected me up with Maya, and Maya was able to help me get some clarity on what was going on with this patient so that I could help him. So, I mean, without that resource, I wouldn't have known.
Kevin, so what if someone really wants to get involved with Project Echo? Can you talk about who do they contact?
You bet. They can get on our website at Mountain Pacific, and we do have a webpage talking about the Rural Care Transition Project Echo, and all the contact information is there on the thing. And it is free. I mean, it's a service that you can come in at any time. Like Maria had said, we learn from each other. And she's realizing that there's areas in Wyoming and Montana that we're all the same. We have a lot of us have the same problems, and we're working at it to figure it out.
Well, I'd like to thank Christine, Marie, and Kevin for being on our show today. And thank you at home for joining us. Until next week, stay fit, stay well, and stay healthy for life with Healthy Living for Life.
Healthy Living for Life is brought to you by Mountain Pacific Quality Health. We'd love to hear from you. If you have suggestions for future programs, visit our website at mpqhf.org or call us at 406-443-4020. You can also catch us on YouTube by visiting our website and clicking on the YouTube icon. Special thanks to Fire Tower Coffee House and Roasters. Production facilities provided by Video Express Productions.